Hey guys, we're back with the interview.
I'm not going to
I
stand
have
there
to
all
be
day
quiet because
holding
if
that
I
up.
start
We're
screaming,
going to have a look at somebody else. He can sit up there
Parakeet
and
Falcon
hold for a while.
will, fly away.
The next bird I'm going to have a look at is this bird sitting on its perch over here. I want to talk a little bit about this one because this is called a falcon. Now, the falcon is what the sport of falconry is named after. And falconry is actually hunting with a bird of prey, allowing the bird to hunt for you. Working together, partners, teamwork. Falconry began in ancient times thousands of years ago. People began training these birds as a way to bring home fresh meat to feed the family. You know, we have it easy today. If you want your food, you go to the store, you can buy whatever you want. But think about it, long ago in ancient times, survival was much more difficult. There were no stores, there were no restaurants. If you wanted to eat meat, you had to go out and hunt for it on your own, or you did without. Well, these birds were actually one of man's first hunting partners. By training the bird to catch natural prey and to work with you, it's a meal that could be shared. The bird got a portion, whatever it needed to survive, and the rest of that fresh meat could go home to feed the family when times were tough. Now a falcon, in the wild, falcons actually catch and eat mainly other birds, believe it or not. So they don't live in the forest the way the hawks do, flying around from tree to tree. They live out in the wide open spaces, and they like to hunt from high in the sky because they catch other birds in flight. What they like to do is go thousands of feet in the air. They will climb above the earth until they disappear from sight. Up there, they wait and they watch. Now, because they have such powerful eyesight, they can see below for miles in all directions. So they just watch below. And when a bird, any kind of bird, a pigeon, flies out over the treetops, it doesn't realize that the... And we'll let him have a look out here and see if you can tell me what kind of bird of prey this is. What is it?
Oh, it's an owl.
Owl, very good. Okay, now, there are over 200 different species or type of owl all around the world. This happens to be the largest type of owl in the entire world. It's called an eagle owl for that reason, because it's almost as big, almost as large and as powerful as an eagle. Now, it's a rare chance to see one of these up close because eagle owls don't actually live here in the wild in the United States. They're found in the mountains of Europe and Asia. You all know that. Nocturnal is just a fancy name for nighttime. All it means is that owls are more active and do most of their hunting at night. But they're actually often misunderstood. A lot of what you may have heard about owls is actually not true. For example, a couple of examples. Many people think that because owls come out at night that they can't see. Or the bright sun hurts their eyes. Or they have to sleep all day and can only come out at night. Actually, none of that is true. Excellent eyesight both day and night. Far better than ours, even on a bright sunny day like today. Many people also think that owls can see in the dark. That's also not true. An owl cannot see in total darkness. He flew over here and I offered him my glove, so he lands on the glove. And I want to reward him for doing that by offering him a little piece of chicken, which you see him reaching down with that sharp hook beak. That beak is like a pair of scissors designed for cutting meat, very sharp on the sides and pointy at the tip, so he can just tear off pieces of it. So, as I was going to tell you, say for example we walk around at night, we can't see very well. Our eyes are designed for seeing during the day. We need a lot of light to see clearly. The brighter it is, the better we see. But an owl just needs a tiny bit of light from the moon or the stars. Those big bright eyes can gather or collect tiny bits of light that we can't see. So they do see much better than we do at night. But when it's truly dark, when it's pitch black on a moonless or a starless night, the owl still needs to be able to find its prey. Now what they hunt out there at night are mainly rodents that they catch on the ground. So owls control rodents like mice and rats and squirrels and rabbits. So when they're out there in the forest, flying from tree to tree, they're looking down with powerful eyesight. But believe it or not, they're also listening closely for the movement of the prey on the ground. Because once again, they can't always see out there when it's dark. So their hearing is excellent. It's even better than their eyes. The owl's ears are very large, but you can't see them because they're hidden in all the feathers on the side of his head, where ours are. Now, his eyes point out of his head in slightly different directions. In other words, one points down and away toward the ground and one points up toward the sky. So when he's sitting up there in a tree, he's looking down with powerful eyesight, but he's also listening. Now when a mouse is running around in the grass and the leaves, that tiny sound travels all the way up to the owl, and all of those little feathers that you see, big circles of feathers around his eyes, there are thousands of them there. And they all do one thing, they catch that tiny sound and direct it into his ears. So by listening closely, he knows exactly where the sound is coming from. Because his ears point in different directions, the sound is going to be louder and clearer in one ear than the other, so he looks in that direction.
Hi, owl.
And he can pinpoint that sound and fly down and catch that mouse going that sound alone, sometimes without ever seeing it in the dark. Even their feathers are different from other birds. They're specially designed for silent flight. In other words, when an owl flaps its wings, it makes no sound. So they can use the element of surprise. They can sneak up and catch the prey in the dark. Because they can't see or hear the owl coming. Everybody, this is Buddha, the eagle owl. Everybody say bye-bye, Buddha.
Hey, Buddha.
He said bye-bye.
Oh, jeez. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah, you're getting jealous, right? You see the owl getting all that good stuff? Now, what I do, you can see how I give the birds exercise. He's getting some extra for him to learn. We both have a job to do, basically. Now, he's up there hunting from above. He's waiting to see something moving on the ground with his powerful eyesight and fly down and catch it. Now, I want to give him practice doing that, teaching him how to catch things, and that comes with practice. Kind of like an athlete in training. You know, if you're an athlete, if you play sports, there are certain things you could exercise, eat good food, get good rest. Well, the bird needs all of that as well to be able to catch prey. So what I do, when the time is right, I take this out of my bag. Now, this funny-looking thing is called a lure. Now, the lure is an imitation of what I want him to catch. In other words, I want to teach him to catch certain things. If I want to teach him to catch something, it's going to be something big, like a rabbit. Because if he catches something big, it's more food for him, and it's more food for the other birds. So this is just an old piece of fur, sewn together, nice and soft. You can see how it's all torn up. The reason it's all torn up is because he's been grabbing with his powerful feet and his sharp claws thousands of times. So all I really do is throw this on the ground as well. He has to earn his meal in the wild, so he earns them here as well. So I got that prince. Okay, first of all, where is he? Who's been watching him? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Point him out, point him out. Aha! See, he knows exactly where I'm going. He's going to get ahead of me. If I walk in this direction, he'll come over in this direction. Good. Now he's going to have to work a little harder to catch it, if he chooses to do it. Okay, so on three, Prince. Ready? Oh, wait a minute. We got traffic coming across the intersection here. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. He could have caught that very easily. You see, that's what I mean. That's what he did before. He could have caught that very easily. But he's nervous about landing on the ground because there are so many people around that he doesn't know. He doesn't know what your intentions are. He feels a little threatened by it. I'm going to stop you guys right there. There's the bird up in the tree right here. Right there. Hold on. Time out. Stop. You can't continue past this area until I get the foot down, or he's never going to come. Hang on to it. You better work harder now. Okay, you guys are good. You guys are good. Okay. So, now that he caught the lure, I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to take a walk over here. I'm going to give him a little space because he is going to eat his reward on the lure. And I want him to know that it's okay to do that. So I'll give him a little room.
You guys saw that? That was so cool. Mr.
From long ago. House hawks don't live here in the wild, but they're found in the southwestern United States. They live in the desert in places like Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. And when he finishes up with that little tidbit, I'm going to throw another one on the ground and he'll hop down for it. And I'm actually going to give him some more. I'm going to give him a big meal. I feed him a different amount every day. See how he's jumping toward me? Because he saw me. He knows I'm reaching into this cooler. And in the cooler is where all the good stuff is. So I throw him a nice couple big old pieces of chicken. And he will pounce on those and have himself a good meal. And I always do that at the end of the exercise after he's had his flight, because that teaches him what I want him to do. The reward comes at the end. Now, when we're out there hunting for real, we both have a job to do. His job is to catch the rabbit from above. My job is to help him find it. Now, that might sound a little strange because he's high above and he's got much more powerful eyesight than I do. But they don't see things quite the same way we do. His eyesight may be more powerful, but he doesn't see things very well at all if they're not moving. If a rabbit holds perfectly still, he'll fly right by. He won't see it. So my job is to work for him on the ground by going out into the forest and chasing those rabbits out of hiding. Now that can be a difficult job, so I have somebody who helps me do that job. They work for the bird as well. And I want to bring them out here and introduce them to you to show you how two very different types of animal can be trained to work together. Here! Hello! Okay, so raise your hand if you have a dog at home. Who's got a dog at home? Okay. Well, of course we all know dogs make wonderful pets because they're very intelligent, very loving, and social creatures. But what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of the dogs that you see even today, those breeds, those types of dog began long ago to be working dogs. They had a job to do. They're very good at doing certain things. Even today we have working dogs. Dogs that work for the police and the military. Seeing eye dogs for the blind. Therapy dogs. All kinds of hunting dogs. Believe it or not. You can see she's sniffing around right now because she would love to get a little piece of that chicken that the hawk is eating. But she knows better than to get too close to Mr. Hawk because he protects his food. Their noses are very good. They're like a bloodhound. They're in the hound family. Their noses are so good, dachshunds have been trained to find lost hikers in the wilderness using scraps of clothing. They save people's lives. These little dachshunds are trained to do one thing: go out into the forest and use that nose to find and follow the scent of a rabbit. Their job is not to catch it, simply to chase it out of hiding so that the bird can catch it. And the bird learns very quickly. See?
Okay, guys, the show is over now. So bye.